Hi guys, it's Mitch here, just coming on to do the Facebook card reveals for you all. So this week I decided to work with the Ethereal Visions Tarot, which is an amazing deck. It's this one, in case anybody is interested. This is the deck that I use with all my clients. It's probably my absolute favourite ever tarot deck to work with, so it's a really powerful one. So, as ever, let's see what we need to know about for this week. So as we're going into card one then, we've got the energy of the Tower coming in. Now, it's really important when the Tower shows, don't fear the energy of it, guys, because sometimes when people see this Tower card, people get a little bit scared, a little bit kind of overwhelmed. And basically, it's really important to remember with anything in tarot that the cards hold both light and dark, positive and negative. And very often a certain type of vibration or experience, it only needs to sort of manifest that way if we buy into that. So, you know, this isn't necessarily saying it's going to be a negative experience, only becomes negative if we sort of feed into that line. But what's really important with this card when it shows, the Tower is all about there's a change that's going to happen around you that's going to become unavoidable. So something is going to take place, something is going to happen that's completely outside of your control, and you're going to have to sort of deal with it head on. Now it could be something small, something minor, it could be something a little bit more large, a little bit more loud, or a bit more kind of aggressive in your energy. It could be something really positive, or it could be something really negative. So it could be, for some of us, you know, we're offered a job that we didn't think in a million years we were going to get. That's an example of how the Tower can work when it's working in a positive vibration. It could be also that maybe there's been a change of circumstance, something maybe has been cancelled around you, and you know you can't challenge it back, you can't argue it, it's outside of your control. So sometimes it can be throwing up diversions for us. The Tower is all about unexpected changes, and we can't just talk our way out of something, we have to tackle it head on. The great thing with the Tower is it's about being the Tower of strength. So you are stronger, you are more powerful than the challenge, the obstacle, the change of dynamic. So whatever you might be going through, whatever you might be up against here, you're stronger than whatever disruptions are happening. Sometimes things have to fall apart in order to be corrected, to be rebuilt. And that's an example of how the Tower can work. So these lightning bolts are sort of causing a little bit of disruption. We've got this sort of person falling from the tower, and the mask is being sort of exposed. And maybe that's an extension of this. Maybe some of you are unearthing a behaviour, a circumstance, some situations around energies or a physical person, and there could be some disruption that's coming about there. So change is inevitable. The key thing with this is don't fear the changes, sort of work with the higher power, the higher wisdom. So we've got this sort of big sort of third eye at the top looking down on the situation, and by sort of staying in that higher vibration of power and wisdom, you can see past the limitations, past the problems, and you can overcome whatever this intrusion might be for you. So it is a little bit of a warning card when it shows in the tarot. So it's one to be careful of, to be cautious of, to be mindful of, but don't immediately sort of feed into the dramatics of stuff, because sometimes when we're met with this, straight away we almost get quite dramatic, quite overwhelming, and it doesn't always need to be like that, because actually very often, yes, this is a disruption, but it can be sort of handled well, it can be overcome. Okay, it's that whole thing of the Tower is wanting to act as that portal of strength to get you past this limitation, this blockage, or whatever you find yourself up against. So don't lose your head with this, guys, okay? Stay focused. Now then, if you've been pulled into card 2, we're going into the Five of Wands. Five of Wands is interesting. It keeps showing up a lot at the moment for people. And I guess that's an extension of what's maybe going on with the outside world, because there's so much division, so much divide, so much kind of, obviously, thoughts, feelings and ideas are happening externally. I think this is perhaps why, in some cases, on a collective energy, this card keeps showing up and coming in. Five of Wands is all about basically don't get caught up in crossfires, dramatics. Don't give away your power. Don't limitate yourself for the expense of somebody else. It's about some sort of, at times there could be some confrontation, some dramatic energy going on around you. It could be that you're getting pulled into people's stories or people's situations, and it's about staying grounded, staying neutral, not giving away your power, staying true to your core principles, your core values, your core beliefs. So if you feel like you're being pulled into some sort of confrontation, some sort of drama, some sort of change of dynamic, hold your truth, hold your vision. Don't sort of buy into other people's limitations of something. Lots of people have a version or an idea of maybe what you're about or what they perceive to be. It doesn't always mean it's the true energy of what you've actually sort of been up against or have had to go through. So hold on to your quest, hold on to your vision. And it's really important as well with this card that if people don't always understand, you don't have to prove yourself. You have nothing to prove. Sometimes this card is gouging, or it's wanting to get a reaction or get a response from us to almost give away our power. So if you hear sort of hearsay, Chinese whispers, if things are taken out of context, you don't have to prove yourself to anybody. Stay true, stay aligned to your spirit, to your soul, and to your heart center, because the right people will always celebrate you at every kind of given time. Anybody that buys into hearsay, gossip, scandal, whatever might be going on around you, if they choose to believe that, it's a reflection of them, not yourself. Okay, because we're not going to be able to be everybody's cup of tea, and it's not right that we are everybody's cup of tea. People will always have a view of something, and the only thing that matters is knowing your truth, your justice, your reasons for why things have gone the way they've gone. So this is wanting you to avoid confrontation. Don't feed into the fire lines, because sometimes with this we keep ourselves limited. We sometimes want to have the last word or the last say to prove a point, but we don't need to. As long as we know what we're about, what we're doing, how someone perceives us to be, if someone feels like we're running before we can walk, or we're not necessarily, I don't know, whatever the situation might be, it's something in their energy. If we're bothering, if we're triggering them, it's something they've got to deal with, they've got to work through, rather than us. It doesn't need to tarnish who we are as people. So it could be loads of different things. This could be conflict with family, with relationships, with work, with friendship circles. It could be so many things. So you'll know in your personal world where it sits, but don't feed into the frustrations or the confrontations of it. Hold your power, hold your vision, reclaim your wand back, because by not engaging in it, you remove yourself from this conflict, from this drama, from this unnecessary energy, because that's really what this card is saying. There's some potential unnecessary energy around you, and just don't get consumed in it this week, guys. Now, if you've been drawn into card 3, we're going into the energy of the 3 of Wands. 3 of Wands is a really cool card. It's a really good card. Lots of planning, lots of thinking, lots of trying to sort of put foundations in place for how you want your world to be moving forward. And it's really key to remember with this that Rome wasn't built in a day. So whilst you might be planning, whilst you might have ideas on what you want to receive, it's also really important to celebrate and embrace the immediate space. Celebrate how far you've actually travelled and how far you've come. So he's made it up to the top of this mountain, and he's sort of taking in the beautiful scenery, the beautiful view. You've got that beautiful water, that river that's just sort of flowing very gently. And this is about life starting to flow, starting to go in a really positive, smooth direction moving forward. And he's holding that first wand very sort of intently. He's used that to sort of really kind of get to the top, so it's the success, the victories of everything, but he has an awareness for where he wants to be moving forward. So celebrate how far you've come. Obviously be open to the potentials, the possibilities of the future, but don't force anything. Just roll with it, just go with the flow. There are 2 wands yet to be explored, so there are new opportunities, new adventures to be travelled, to be had, and everything happens in the right space and in the right time. But go easy on yourself in the immediate space. So this is why I keep feeling like I need to say Rome wasn't built in a day. You will get there. Even if you don't feel you're exactly where you want to be yet, stop and celebrate and look at the victories of how far you have travelled to get to this immediate space, and then be ready for what lies ahead, you know, what's coming in long term for the future. So planning, but having that acknowledgement for the here and the now. So I hope that makes sense for you, my lovelies. Going to leave these cards with you. Stay safe, stay well, have a fabulous week ahead, and I'll catch up with some of you lovelies very soon. Take care, bye for now.